Hey guys, what's up? So in today's video, I want to give a big Hyliion update. Now, since September 29th, we've been on a massive downwards trend. The stock was trading at $53, and now we're all the way down to $20 a share, where exactly I said the stock would trade to. Now, I got a lot of hate for saying there was downside potential in Hyliion. I was saying this at $40 a share, and I was saying it at $27 a share. But really the truth is that I just saw the valuation being really steep, and the stock was just looking very bubbly to me. There was massive hype and just unrealistic expectations. But now that we've seen the stock trade down to the $20 range, where I wanted to see the stock trade at, we're not looking at a bubble anymore. We're looking at a realistic company, and we can actually see the fundamentals make sense now. So in today's video, I'm going to be looking at the chart, giving my opinion if I think now is the time to buy, or if you should continue to wait to see a further price drop. And then also we're going to go through some news updates. There's been some recent articles that was just announced yesterday. And yeah, so let's get into the video. Okay, so first thing, I want to cover some of the articles that were just released. This one, it says Hyliion stock has enormous growth potential in the next 6 years. I agree with this. I've been saying this since the beginning. Hyliion has great long-term potential, but I have been bearish on the near term when I saw the stock trading in the $50, $40, and $30 range. So Hyliion was amongst the two biggest trends of 2020. That's electric vehicles and blank check companies, other known as SPACs. This is unarguable. I'm sure we can all agree. EV companies and SPACs all seem to skyrocket in 2020. It didn't matter what the company was, they were gonna skyrocket. That is a clear indication of a bubble. Bubbles have a great opportunity to make a ton of money, but you just need to recognize that it is a bubble and you gotta take profits at some point. But this bubble has officially bursted, and it's been downtrending since end of September now. So a lot of this article just covers what Hyliion is and what they're doing. Most of you guys are pretty hardcore Hyliion fans, so I'm not gonna be covering that. But some of you might not know actually how invested Hyliion is into this company. Hyliion is the CEO, and he's right now the largest shareholder of the company. He has a 1.5 billion stake in the company, so he's heavily invested in it, which is something that you want to see. When you have the CEO being that invested in the company, he needs to make it successful. Because if this company isn't successful, he's going to be losing a large portion of his net worth. So that's excellent to see. Now this research firm here, I don't know how to pronounce this, Deloitte or something like that, estimates that by 2026, 67% of commercial vehicles will have alternative drive systems, and 80% of commercial vehicles used for long distance work will be operating on natural gas. That's what this firm projects. That is pretty interesting to me. I didn't actually know that at all, that they're projecting 80% of commercial vehicles to be using natural gas as their fuel. That is immensely bullish for Hyliion if that is actually going to be the case. Now, of course, this is just what this firm is projecting. We don't know if that's actually going to happen. But either way, that is good news for Hyliion. And just keep in mind, there's really been nothing but good news for Hyliion since they've came public. They've just been getting hammered in their share price because of the big bubble that's been bursting. But we're getting to a level where it's starting to look quite attractive if you're willing to hold this stock over the next 5 years. One of my concerns is when I saw Hyliion trading in the $30 to $40 range, is that they just aren't expecting to have much revenue for a few more years. And that's because they're very limited on production and ability to scale right now. So no matter how many big contracts they get, they can't actually generate much revenue regardless right now. But at $20, it's really making a lot more sense right now. So is now the time to buy Hyliion? Well, I'll answer that in two parts. If you're a long-term investor, now is actually a very good risk versus reward situation. It wasn't looking too great at $30 a share, but at $20 a share, it actually is. But like I said earlier, you have to be willing to hold the stock for 5 years. With a 5-year horizon, I don't see how Hyliion won't be trading at a higher price than $20. However, if you only have 2 years to hold this stock, well, you never know what can happen in just 2 years' time. We're going to be possibly going through some serious economic repercussions from this virus. And we're coming up on just a lot of turbulence in the world. So this is just with any stock. If you're going to hold any stock and you only have a 2-year horizon, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we could experience another stock crash. So yeah, really with any stock, in my opinion right now, if you're a long-term investor, you gotta be willing to hold for the next 5 years. But could this stock go lower? Definitely, absolutely. The next 2 months is going to be a wild ride in the stock market. And right now, there's no hype push in Hyliion. So it could easily continue this downtrend all the way down to $10 for all I know. So what I would do is just dollar cost average. Get a position into Hyliion now by investing a certain amount of money every 2 weeks into their stock. That way you'll actually be able to capture some of those lower prices if it continues the downward trend. So yeah, with any stock that's been on a pretty intense downward trend like Hyliion, I don't see why you would jump fully into it. You're really at no risk of just dollar cost averaging into it. So yeah, this would be the worst time to sell Hyliion. If you held it from $50 a share all the way to 20 and you're getting sick of these losses and you're just gonna cut it now and sell, I would say that's probably the biggest mistake you could make. At any time, Hyliion could definitely announce some big contracts that bounces the stock back up. And then also, now that we're down to $20, that downside risk is considerably getting smaller. Yes, it could potentially get down to $10 a share, because the whole stock market is just going crazy right now, and it's going to continue going crazy over the next couple of months. But this is with every stock. So if you're going to sell Hyliion to buy another stock right now, well, that other stock is going to be experiencing the same kind of volatility in the market right now. So I don't really see a situation where it'd be smart to sell Hyliion, but I do see it being a good opportunity to dollar cost averaging into it. And that is going to be dependent on your overall tolerance of the market right now. A lot of investors are really scared. If we look at the VIX index, it's quite high. It jumped up from 27 on October 23rd all the way to 40. And then it's dropped about 6% over this last day. It's at 37, but it's still very high. There's a lot of fear in the market, and this is going to cause a lot of volatility. I wouldn't be surprised to see the VIX indicator go much higher than where it is right now. So yeah, you definitely got to stomach the downturns right now and just expect it. Don't be surprised if you see Hyliion or the overall market drop 4%. It should honestly be very expected right now. So yeah, as long as the VIX indicator remains above 30, just expect that volatility and try not to get emotional and panic sell out of Hyliion. Most of your downward risk is behind you. So right now would be actually one of the more safer times to own Hyliion. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys in this video. I wanted to give you guys an update on my thesis on Hyliion, because previously, I guess you could say I've been bearish on the short term because of the share price, but now we're down to a range where I actually like it. So in my opinion, Hyliion's at a pretty fair valuation now. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a thumbs up on it. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm and to get this message out to more Hyliion viewers. And feel free to subscribe if you want to see more Hyliion related content. This is one of the main stocks I cover on this channel. Anyways, thanks for watching till then, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.